Season 3 of Wondla doesn't waste a single second. The moment it starts, we're thrown right back into the madness, like Season 2 never even ended. Cadmus finally has the source in his hands, that glowing, pulsing life energy he's convinced will save New Attica from collapsing. Back when the old world fell apart, Cadmus didn't hide or panic. He scooped up every survivor he could find and built New Attica from scratch, a sealed megacity where humans were safe from every alien creature outside. Food, shelter, tech, structure, he designed it all. And for a while, it worked. People survived. People believed in him. But now the problem nobody wants to talk about is impossible to ignore. Their crops aren't growing anymore. Every harvest is smaller than the last. Hunger is creeping through the city like a shadow everyone feels, but nobody says out loud. Cadmus knows it. And he's terrified. He believes if he can tap into the source, he can flip the whole crisis around, restore life, restore the soil, and save everything he built. But Aid isn't buying any of his hero speech nonsense. She knows exactly who Cadmus really is, the kind of guy who'll break the world just to glue it back his own way. And she blames him for Eva's death. Cadmus tries to twist the narrative, claiming he'll tell everyone that Eva is the one who led him to the source, that she'll be remembered as a savior. He tells Aid she should help him shape a new age and let the past go. But Aid's done listening to his lies. She's ready to walk right into New Attica and tell the entire population what Cadmus actually did. Cadmus realizes she's serious. So he does what he always does when he feels threatened. He eliminates the problem. He throws Aid out into the blistering desert, expecting the heat, the sand, and the isolation to finish the job. But Aid refuses to die. She breaks out of her restraints, pushes through miles of burning sand, and eventually reaches the outer edges of New Attica. Sanctuary-born kids find her, and they're shaken by how wrecked she looks, but even more shocked by how determined she still is. She tells them she needs to get inside the city. Only problem? The gates are locked from the inside. Cadmus already sealed the entire place. When she tells them Cadmus caused Eva's death, the news spreads through her friends like a shockwave. And Aid knows she can't wait for an easy path in. So she takes the hardest one possible, climbing a straight-up deadly mountainside that leads to a forgotten sewer tunnel into the city. It's dark, slippery, nasty, and literally life-threatening. But she makes it. Inside New Attica, everything feels off. Cadmus's robots roam every street, herding people into their homes like they're livestock. Food distribution for the night is cancelled, and people are panicking. 2 kids resist being pushed around, and a robot grabs them like they're criminals. That's when Aid steps out. She moves so fast the robot can't even process it. She chops off its arms, stabs it down, and shuts the whole machine off before it can scream for backup. She collects its pieces like gear drops and brings them to her squad. With those parts, her team hacks straight into Cadmus's system. Suddenly, they're inside every camera, every hallway, every corner of the city. They can see everything. Cadmus notices the breach instantly. He jumps into his underground transport and flees into the sewers. Aid chases him hard, corners him, and the man glitches. It's just a hologram. Cadmus basically built New Attica as one big nervous system wired straight into him. He sees everything, hears everything, predicts everything. Every plan Aid makes, he already knows. He begs her to stop, telling her he just needs more time to figure the source out safely. But Aid knows if he ever cared about saving crops, he'd have done something long ago. The next morning, Cadmus gathers the entire city into the plaza for a huge announcement. But instead of telling the truth, he throws a lie at them the size of a skyscraper. He blames the dying crops on Aid and the sanctuary-borns, claiming they contaminated the fields. Then he drags Aid in front of everyone and literally hands her a script, expecting her to confess to a crime she never committed. But Aid flips him inside, out, and upside down in front of everyone. She tells New Attica the truth. Their whole paradise is a fake. Their sunlight? A hologram. Their sky? A projection. Their perfect world? A giant daycare built to keep them blind and quiet. Cadmus locked them inside illusions while the real world outside, full of color, air, freedom, stayed hidden from them. And the people finally wake up. Cadmus is arrested and thrown in a cell. But even behind bars, he warns Aid that alien species are connected to the source, and they'll never let her return it. Aid tells him she's not giving it back. She's planning to turn the source into a weapon to wipe out anything threatening humanity. Far away in a dead forest, something impossible happens. Eva opens her eyes. She's alive. Her hair has turned silver gray, and the forest around her looks drained ever since Cadmus ripped the source out. She blames herself for failing to protect it. She hears a tiny cry and finds a lost baby bird. She helps it back to its mother, when suddenly a hooded figure steps out. He looks exactly like Darius, but he introduces himself as Eris, Darius's identical twin. He tells Eva the future isn't locked in place. She can still change everything. The first step, he says, is to find Quinoho. The birds she helped carry her through the forest straight to Render. They hug like they haven't seen each other in years. Eva tells him everything Eris said. Render leads her to his village, a place choking under famine and dying land. There, Eva meets Render's father, the elder of the cerulean species. She asks how to reach Quinoho, but the elder warns her Solulis has turned hostile toward humans. They're being blamed for the dying forest and the chaos spreading everywhere. If Eva walks in there as herself, she'll be imprisoned on sight. Eva refuses to back down. She trusts Quinoho. She believes the queen would never support harming humans. But the elder explains the real threat. Chancellor Lorak is using the crisis to steal the throne. Sololis is basically one bad day away from a political explosion. Eva decides the only way in is to disguise herself as an alien. Render helps her blend in, and together they approach the palace with urgent news for Quinoho. The guards, tense but curious, let them inside. In the throne room, Lorak is trying hard to convince Quinoho that humans are villains. The queen refuses to accept it. There's no evidence. Lorak snaps and accuses Eva of leading an attack with human machines. The queen defends Eva, insisting humans and aliens have lived together peacefully before. Eva finally steps forward and says Cadmus was the one responsible. He stole the source. He caused the forest to collapse. The rest of humanity is innocent. Lorak and the queen demand to know how she knows this. Eva has no choice. She reveals herself. Lorak immediately calls her a liar. He claims Eris has been dead for over 150 years. He doesn't wait for proof, doesn't wait for reason. He just orders Eva arrested and uses the moment to seize control. Quinoho is thrown into the cell right beside her. Inside the cell, Eva explains everything. Quinoho opens up about her own past. Her father and his advisors, Eris and Darius, came to this planet ages ago. Eris believed in the world's potential. Darius believed it was too poisoned to save. After they clashed, Eris left, trying to find a way to bridge the world's present and future. Quinoho also wonders how Cadmus even got to the source. It should have been buried deep in the planet's core. Eva explains that it never made it to the core, it landed at a sanctuary instead. That's why the planet has been dying so slowly. Eva asks how to return it. The queen says only advisor Zen can answer that. They escape when Garga squeezes through a tiny gap and unlocks the door from the outside. Alarms blast instantly, and guards flood the hallway. Retimus, a warrior loyal to the queen and brother to Bishal, fights off the guards long enough to get them to advisor Zen. Zen gives them the truth nobody wanted to hear. To heal the planet, the source has to be launched back into the core. But without the ancient world launcher, the mission is impossible. Eva suddenly remembers the thermal vent buried under New Attica, a straight shot down to the core. They don't have a launcher, but they definitely have a path. Their mission becomes crystal clear: break into New Attica, find the source, get it to the thermal vent, and send it home before Lorak's army reaches the human settlement. But before they can even breathe, alarms explode across Sololis. Lorak finally notices the prison break. Every guard in the palace snaps to attention, weapons out, ready to hunt. Quinoho doesn't waste a second. She rushes everyone into a hidden room tucked behind old tapestries and broken stone carvings, something that looks like it hasn't been used since the world still felt safe. She reveals a secret escape tunnel, something only her family used back in the days when peace actually meant something. But when they reach it, everything crashes. The tunnel door is sealed, welded shut like it's been ignored for centuries. No handles. No hinges. No way out. And that's when Chip arrives, this absolute legendary tank of a guard. He doesn't even ask what's going on. He just cracks his knuckles, steps forward, and starts punching the wall like it insulted his mom. And he's not tapping it, he's ripping entire chunks out, stone flying everywhere while dust rains down like a storm. The problem? Lorak and his entire army burst through the opposite door. Radius and Render step in front of everyone, yelling at Eva and the queen to move. They're ready to hold the line even if it means they'll never walk out. Right when it feels like they're seconds from being overwhelmed, Chip delivers a final earth-shaking smash and breaks open the exit. The group dives through the hole just as Lorak fires a shot straight at them. Advisor Zin throws himself in the way, blocking the blast with his body. Before he collapses, he gives Eva one last warning. The source must stay inside its casing. Never touch it with bare hands. Then the door seals behind them and they're gone. Outside, Lorak wastes zero time. He marches his full royal army directly toward the human colony. Thousands of armored troops stomping across the land. He's coming to wipe them out, and nothing is slowing him down. Eva and her squad hit the road too, running, sprinting, pushing their legs until they burn. They need to reach New Attica before Lorak does, or everything's finished. But Lorak's troops have been moving non-stop, no breaks, no sleep. They're already halfway there. Eva's stomach sinks until she spots two figures she thought she'd never see again. Otto and Wondla. Eva tackles Otto like a kid hugging her long-lost best friend. If Otto's here, that means flight is an option. He can take her to New Attica instantly. But Render brings reality back. Otto can't carry all of them. Wondla steps in, saying they don't need Otto's back. What they need is a ship. And he knows exactly where one is. A scrapyard city called Lys. When they reach Lys, the vibe hits immediately: danger. Every wall, every corner, every wooden post is plastered with wanted posters showing Eva and her crew. Big portraits. Big letters. Huge reward. 1 million shellacs dead or alive. People glance at them with fear and interest. Money talks. They scramble for disguises, hoods, cloth wraps, random scrapyard junk helmets, and step into town. Inside, everything's tense. Lorak's soldiers are bullying citizens, snatching their food, shouting that their queen abandoned them. Fear rules the streets. They finally find Crunkle, the only guy who knows where the human airship is. But he's changed. He's fully working for Lorak now, strutting around bossing villagers, stealing their supplies. When villagers ask about Queen Aho, he proudly lies, saying she gave up on them. Queen Aho looks like she's about to punch him through a wall, but Render and Eva hold her back. They need information, not drama. So Eva and Rate approach Crunkle. They tell him Lorak sent them to collect the ship. Crunkle isn't stupid. He narrows his eyes, instantly suspicious. Rate tries to intimidate him, but Crunkle slips out like an eel and yells loud enough for the entire city to hear. He screams that Eva killed Ritmus, Riitis' brother. The shock freezes Rate for half a second, just long enough for Crunkle to sprint away and summon every nearby guard. Soldiers flood toward them from all sides. Rate grabs Eva, pushes her away, yelling for her to protect the queen. He charges straight at the guards to buy them time. Eva grabs Queen Aho and runs. Render leads them to the home of his old friend Hostia, a brilliant chaos gremlin who always has some crazy idea cooking in his workshop. Hostia doesn't disappoint. He takes them to Lakis, a huge blue lake where the human airship is hidden. But the catch hits them instantly. Dozens of guards surround it. There's no way in. Hostia squints, thinks for 3 seconds, then snaps his fingers with the goofiest grin. His brilliant plan? Stuff everyone inside a giant decorative gift box and pretend it's a present for the soldiers. Somehow, it actually works. Hostia marches through the guards, dragging a massive box behind him while Otto waddles along like a confused pet. The guards barely glance at it. As soon as they're inside, everyone spills out of the box and rushes onto the ship. Eva hears her name whispered softly. It's Haley. She's been hiding here, scared and alone. But then she drops a bomb. They can't fly the ship. The equilibrium inverter, the ship's heart, is missing. At that exact moment, Crunkle appears again, with guards at his back and a smug grin on his face. He reveals he stole the inverter, and he also captured Raides. He orders his men to take everyone prisoner. But Otto surprises everyone. He jumps on Crunkle like a wild animal. The inverter slips from Crunkle's hands, bounces twice, and falls into the lake. Otto dives after it instantly. Eva runs to free Raides. Wondla rushes to the cockpit. Minutes later, Otto rises from the water holding the inverter triumphantly. He tosses it to Wondla, who slams it into place. But right when the ship begins to lift, a soldier throws a massive rope around it, anchoring it to the ground. That's when Queen Aho steps out. She walks into the middle of the chaos and calls every citizen of Lys to gather. Her voice is shaky but strong. She tells them Lorak stole her throne, that she's done hiding. She begs them to fight not for her, but for their homes, their families, their future. Guards grab her immediately. For a second, everything freezes. Then something magical happens. The entire city revolts. Villagers swarm the guards, pushing them back, cutting the rope holding the ship down. Ritmus pulls Raiders onto the ship. Queen Oho tells them she's staying behind to lead her people, but Ritmus must go with Eva. He bows and obeys. Eva and her crew fly straight for New Attica. But when they reach the border, Eva sees something that slams her heart sideways. Aid is alive. Eva goes to meet her alone. Aid is stunned, but instead of hugging her friend, she captures her. Aid has taken over New Attica. She rewired Cadmus robots, built an entire private army, and is ready to go to war. She believes Eva has been corrupted by aliens. Eva tries to explain the truth, that a massive alien force is coming and the source must be restored or everyone dies. Aid doesn't believe a word. She looks over the wall and shows Eva what she thinks are invaders. But they're not soldiers. They're frightened, harmless aliens drawn to the source's call, lost and scared. Aid doesn't care. She raises her gun and shoots at a mother alien. Eva snaps. She yells at Aid, calling her the real monster. Then Eva reaches out telepathically to the aliens and tells them to leave. They obey instantly. Humans watching from the wall stare in shock. But right as the aliens retreat, Lorak's real army arrives. And war slams into New Attica. Aid's forces unleash everything they have. Lorak's titans smash through the gates. Eva and her team slip inside using one of Cadmus' giant machines while chaos devours the city. Lorak's titans trap them. Raiders steps forward. He doesn't hesitate. He charges into the collapsing building, bringing the entire roof down and crushing the titans and himself. Eva drops to her knees in heartbreak. But then Raiders walks out from behind them, covered in dust, totally alive. They all crush him in a hug. Eva rushes to Cadmus' office. Cadmus tells her she's too late. Aid forced him to turn the source into a weapon. Project Sunshine. A bomb that will erase every alien species. Eva tries to free him, but the restraints are locked. Cadmus hands her the original Omni, the whole history of humanity stored in one glowing pod. He says she is the future. Eva climbs to the source chamber, the structure ripping apart around her. She almost falls, but Otto swoops in and saves her. She grabs the source and sprints toward the thermal vent. Lorak stops her. Render fights Lorak one-on-one. He loses. Lorak runs off with the source. So Eva tricks him. She tells him he can only control the source by merging with it. Lorak sticks his hands in and instantly turns to stone. Vonpa and Ritmus activate a magnetic device, sending Lorak's army crashing down like falling dominoes. Render lifts Eva and flies her to the vent. Alien creatures guide her to the final platform. But Aid appears. She aims her gun at Eva. Eva walks anyway. Aid fires. Render takes the hit. Eva screams. She runs to him as he bleeds out. He tells her to stay kind. Don't lose herself. Then he dies in her arms. Broken and shaking, Eva turns to Aid. She finally reaches her. Aid's anger melts into guilt and horror. Aid takes the source, steps toward the vent, and sacrifices herself. She dives into the shadows, placing the source back where it belongs. A blinding wave pulses across the planet. Forests erupt with life. The ground blooms. Air becomes warm again. Everywhere, the world wakes up. And Render wakes too. The source heals him. Life floods back into every corner of the world. Eva becomes the new chancellor under Queen Oho. Humans, ceruleans, aliens, they all rebuild the world together. No more illusions. No more lies. Just a future full of real colors and real hope. And that's how Wondla Season 3 wraps its insane, emotional, absolutely wild journey. Thanks for watching, guys. If you love animation movies, hit subscribe and keep hanging with us for more awesome stories.